guys, welcome to today's video. Today's video is part 2 of the 1994 Corvette front caliper upgrade. In this video I will be showing you how I lift the car off the ground to put jack stands at all four corners. I will also be removing the wheels and getting the front calipers and all four brake lines ready for removal. I am removing all four brake lines because I am going to be replacing them with braided stainless steel lines. Enjoy the video. What I use is 2 floor jacks, 4 jack stands. Mine are 3 ton each. And then I found an item that I really like for working on these cars, and that are these 4 large plastic tubs. And where you find them, or where I found them, was in a home improvement store in the concrete section. And they're little tubs designed for making small batches of concrete. And then you'll need your favorite liquid penetrant. I always use rubber gloves and safety glasses. Very important when you're lifting a C4 Corvette, when you're jacking it off the ground, it's very important that you do a few things. You need to pop the rear hatch. You need to open both doors and have them unlatched. And you want to pop the hood. You don't want the hood fully lifted up. If you have a convertible, I would not open the doors, and the reason is without that C-pillar or halo, the car is very likely to twist more than you want it to. I personally would not open the doors on a convertible. I would pop the hood on a convertible, and I would pop the rear deck lid where the convertible top is stored. Okay, the next step is to remove the tires. A lot of C4s have the plastic covers over the lug nuts. A 3/4 inch socket will work for that. Okay, the next step is to just break the lug nuts free. You do not want to loosen them, you just want to break them free while the car is still on the ground. I like to start with the front. So I'm going to put wheel chocks under the rear wheels. I do put hockey pucks on my jacks. Literally a hockey puck. I didn't buy anything special. They do make jack attachments for Corvettes and unibodies and pinch weld areas and things like that. This pinch weld jack attachments I would not recommend on a C4 Corvette. I would not do that. I position my jack stands at an angle facing towards the rear, and I need to do that because it allows me just enough room to get the jack stands in there without interference from the tire and the jack. Now with the rear wheels chalked, I'm going to lift the front I like to position my jack stands so they run along the side of the frame where I'm going to be putting them at. I'm having it run along the side parallel to the frame instead of perpendicular to the frame rail. I'm going to run parallel with the frame rail right up against the lip. So now I need to lower the car very slowly onto the jack stands. All right, now we're gonna do the rear. The rear is basically gonna be the exact same process. I'm gonna put the jack in the pinch weld area near the rockers, just like I did on the front, very close to the recommended lift area for these cars. And I'm going to have the jack facing forward to allow me room to get the jack stand underneath the car. There's only one bit of caution when you're jacking the rear, and that pinch weld area, you have to be very careful to not damage the floorboards under the rear seat. It's very common to lift these cars up and see damage from previous owners. People thinking that the jack point labeled on the rocker panel is meant for a floor jack. It's not. It's meant for the jack that came with the car. So once in position, the next step is to lift the back exactly the same way as the front. So I position my rear jack stands a little differently than I do on the front. My method might not work with your jack stands just because of the shape. Now that the car's up on jack stands, we can go and finish removing the wheels. I always leave the very bottom lug nut for last, and the reason is it wants to fall off on the bottom first. So I keep the bottom lug nut on, that way the wheel is still square while the other 4 lug nuts are off. Now I will take the bottom one off and I'll put my knee, just rest my knee on the wheel. And carefully take it off. Alright, now that the wheels are off, my drip pans are in place, I am going to spray the 4 fittings and let them soak overnight. For the front, you can lift the hood at this point. You have a lot of access with the hood up and a lot of light to see what you're doing. But what we're going to be doing is right here. Soak those joints. I'm going to do that all the way around the car. The front are right here. The back are in a different spot. I'll show you those. The back joint is in a different spot.